Hello guys. I don't think I am able. Yes, I get probably just gonna do this. Yeah, good enough. I just have some phone problems or lack of phone problems. I don't have a phone, so I cannot see the YouTube chat. But I could do the elefanties. Um, so yeah, if I don't wait for using so I go to here, I also cannot do some stuff, and I cannot monitor. I usually put like a monitor so to see if everything's going on correct, but I cannot see that now because I don't have a phone. Which is sad. So yeah, here have Discord, skadoosh, and yeah, I'll set up everything and I'll check with you a bit. Have this, and just go out here and go to the we have a lot to talk about. It is I did some very cool stuff which I would like to explain to everyone because it's very cool. And the full yes, spec nothing. Play the divorce simulator. Where is it? Yes. I think this goes to here. Yes. What's divorce simulator? Lose that shit. Okay, we got a Roblox game. Get divorced at 3 a.m. Sure, why not? Make another window. Whatever. Create a screen capture pipeline with sober. Ta-da. I had some other stuff to talk about, but whatever, let's get it. I played this before. Yeah, I played this. I played this. Yes, PlayStation 5. See, I played this before. Told her. I played this shit, man. Any experiments? Yes, I have experience with divorce. Yes. Yes. Illegal divorce papers. Nah. I am on stream. No, I am not. Fuck. Whatever. It wasn't that great of a game. And I closed it, so. Insane gaming. No. You're wrong. Yes, what the fuck? Would you rather go to Super Evo or Super Hill? You did that joke before, man. You did that joke before. Spequin and transition and go here and share my work scrap. So I got this. This is very cool. This is the new rendering code. I remade the entire shit in STL GPU, which allows me to use a simpler version of Vulkan. Well, it's actually like an interface for Vulkan Metal and DirectX, but I forced it to use Vulkan because if it's on Metal, it's on Mac, and Macs fucking suck. And if it's on DirectX is a Windows exclusive, and fuck Windows, so Vulkan it is. So very simple. Before you think that it's Vulkan, it's very hard. No, it's actually easier to make shit with this than with OpenGL, because OpenGL uses like a fucking state machine, and the state machines fucking suck. Um, so yeah. First of all, new system, system like I mean the system, right? This is the new system. You all of these functions. You have update, start, and end, and you can define update, start, and end, and you can also not define update, start, and end. It does not matter. You can make a system with nothing, with none of these functions, and it will still work. Well, it won't do anything, but it will still work. For example, I got the renderer. The only thing you have to do is set public system. That's it. Public system. After that, and then of course you have to go to wherever you're. I haven't figured that out. That this part you have to actually register the system, but we'll get to it when we'll get to it. For example, this is the render. It has simply an update function. It doesn't have start or end. It only has update. We go to yes, this. This is the render. I'm gonna explain everything to you now. This is when the system actually gets created. It's not quite start. It's like when to like allocate resources and crap. The start actually starts when everything has been created and stuff. We got here. I'm just creating like defining properties to create like render targets to store like the results of the rendering. This is what you use on a render pass. I will explain what a render pass is. Let's just go skip all this shit and go right here. This is just getting the main camera. Here, command buffer. Newer graphics API work with command buffers. OpenGL does not, and that's why OpenGL sucks. Command buffers allows you to, instead of sending commands one by one and waiting for the GPU to process each one before sending the new one, you can batch every single command into one list of commands and send them all at the same time. This makes it much faster. That's what a command buffer is. I just create a command buffer here and then color infos. This is for clearing targets. It's not much interesting. Now this pass, render pass. To actually do the important stuff, you have to create a pass. For example, the render pass here, it does nothing. Just to like apply this. It's just clearing. It does nothing. Now I begin another render pass with the stuff defined here, which is load up, store up, don't care. It just like load previous stuff. Ah no, this is a stencil. Load up, store up, stores and loads, stores and loads to like keep the previous result and store the new result over it. This is basically the same thing as in here, but this clears. When the game is real. Yes, we played like a game called when the game is real, and it was a horror game. Would you rather crack Bulma from DBZ? What the fuck? Or get the Blood Eagle treatment? What? It sure was real, it was real. And then it turned into fucking like a dead person talking to a computer? Like, no, the actual fucking computer. Uh, I don't, I still have to process what the fuck that was. It was nice. Begin GPU random pass. I created another random pass with like this setting, which is like store and crap. And then I render. This is actually useless. I can delete this. We'll start rendering everything. Render all objects. I get all objects with a mesh render and a transform. and I just start rendering everything. What does this do? This here actually does nothing much yet except get the selected pipeline, which I have no idea why the fuck it is here. This shouldn't be here. It should be a mesh me, mesh dot shadering. It should be this. There you go. And then it just finds that pipeline. This is a new crap. It actually renamed shaders, the shader class, but I completely changed how it works. So we got basically the same functions, and then I just renamed use bind. But behind the scenes, it actually handles, instead of being the renderer handling what information gets to what, like the shaders. These things, instead of being the renderer that handles all of this, it's actually the pipeline, like this class that handles all that and configures the vertex shaders, the vertex arrays and vertex attributes and all that. It's the pipeline that manages that. This, for example, I just get the thing and this is getting files and then creating like infos and stuff and then just creating a pipeline. I create vertex shader fragment shader. It only supports vertex shader fragment shader. It doesn't support any other kind of shader. Tessellations and yes, tessellation control and tessellation evaluation are not, and geometry shaders are not supported by STL GPU because they're outdated. So yeah. This is creating the actual shader on the GPU, and no, this is getting information, and the actual compilation is done here. Then I get the pipeline info. I create pipeline info, set vertex shader, fragment shader, and set it to use a triangle list because it could be like a square list, stuff like that. And then I select the buffers and where they should be used. I actually, right now, it only uses one buffer. But yes, this is the like the vertexes, vertex positions and stuff. I could actually separate the UV from the positions and set them as different slots, and I think it would actually be simpler. Well, we'll see. Well, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Then set it to, it only has one of these. I'll set it here because it's supposed to be an array, but since there's only one, there's no need to use an array. And arrays in C are just pointers where you can, in fact, I could actually, this is not a list, right? I do reference, I do vertex buffer descriptions, and then I do like this, and it will work. Yeah. Yeah, see? It will work. I could get this. Yeah, it's exactly like it is exactly like it. This will actually give you an error, but pointers and arrays are exactly the same thing in C. So delete this shit. And I set it to only have one, and where it is. Then I like create an array of vertex attributes, and then I just start setting like position, UVs, and all that crap. This is where I could actually set the thing. So instead of managing like to where to put the UV and where to put it and constantly shifting everything, I could have different buffers and then just put them on the same slots and it will always work, and I just change that same buffers and it will work. I could, and I would actually have to update this. Or not. No. I just set the attributes and yeah, it already does this. It already has offset. And yeah. Actually. No. No 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 no. No 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 no. No. No, this doesn't work. This only works if I interleave it. Like I actually have to use different buffer slots. And this is useless. Set this shit to 0. And then copy a little shit, yank it. And then dot out. Ow, jeez. Delete this. I don't need this. And then one. This and then 2 here. Yeah, I actually have to do this, and I have to keep track of this, of what slots are for what. Like a game about horses, the run killer is horse. Ah, the horse! The fucking horse! We actually, my small cat, for context, small cat showed me some shit in Forsaken. I actually don't really like Forsaken. Speaking of which, I actually, after that thing, I hopped into Forsaken. I played as Nolly and kill everyone because I'm fucking Nolly God, even though I hate the game. Yeah. And then, where was it? Yeah, there was a fucking death killer, which was just a horse. No, 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 no. You didn't even know you could detonate the fucking star midair. You didn't even know that. Did you know that the explosion is smaller if you detonate it manually? Did you know that? Oh, whatever. Yes, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Uh, did you know that it actually does more damage if you detonate it manually? Uh, did you know it explodes midair? When it explodes midair, you deal more damage. Did you know that? Yeah, yeah, sure. Well, that's a lie. I lied to test you, and you fail. It's a lie. It does not. It deals the same amount of damage. Fucking dumbass. Yeah, you lie. Anyway, the horse was funny, and Ohio, yes, yeah, sure. The horse was funny, and yeah, that's basically what happened. Um, slot one here. Instant step right now. This keeps the same. Huh? No, yeah, just I can actually bind the same buffer to different slots to yes, and then just set the offset to different stuff, and it will work. So I could actually still use one buffer, but set different offsets and yeah. The buffer thing that I made, it allows you to create a bigger buffer when that buffer doesn't have enough size. Ooh, and then just reuse that same buffer until there's there's an object which doesn't fit, and then it creates a new one. Don't forget about the time stop noob. That fucking thing. There was like a noob that's time stopped, and when it used time stop, it changed the colors a bit, but then it came back. However, Smilecat disabled the cooldown and just started spamming it, and then the whole thing started breaking, and it wouldn't come back. The time stop wouldn't end, and everything was broken. Also, the horse crashed Smilecat's computer. The horse was too powerful. Yeah. So, continuing, I said the slot, I create the vertex attributes and the buffer slot, yes. I paling salt of the associated buffer. Paling salt of the buffer. Yeah, vertex attributes, water. No, no, no. These attributes size. Il vertex attributes set color, and here I created a color description, which I just set the format to the swap chain texture format, because I use it as a kind of standard, even though it constantly changes. Um, it doesn't constantly change, but it can change. The API says it could change. But for now, it is nothing. I set it to only have one color target and set color target description to this, and create the actual GPU graphics pipeline and delete the shaders because it doesn't need the shaders anymore when the graphics are created, and it also doesn't need this after creating everything. And in the constructor, I just delete the graphics pipeline, and this is the spinning crap. Actually, I set the pipeline and I bind the pipeline, and I just have to actually render the crap. Set uniform skid min cam. Yes, I have to do this. Except I have to do this here because the uniforms are different for every aircraft, even though they're called uniforms, but they're uniforms for protection. Now, where was I? After rendering everything, I end the render pass. I get the swaption. I get the create a variable for width and height. Then just create a swaption texture and store the width and height here and start putting everything. And if the swaption is null, which can happen, I just discard everything and return because, for example, it's minimized or it just cannot run for some reason. It just discards everything and continues. This can happen, and when it does happen, it does nothing and just cancels everything. And until it actually does something. And yeah, this blit. This blit means just copying a texture, basically. Why? Because all this time I actually did not render to the screen, I rendered to a texture. Why did I do this? I said it here. You may be asking, Mr. Starman. You may be asking, Mr. Starman, why don't you just render directly to the swap texture? The screen. This means the screen. Well, originally I was going to have threads create command buffers in parallel for each object, just basically just calculating each object in separate, which created a bunch of issues. You couldn't get the swap texture from other threads, so I made a texture where other threads were rendered to. The async IP was scrapped because the thread and command buffer overhead, because you cannot use other command buffers in other threads, and creating threads costs CPU time. So I just scrapped the thing. It outweighed the performance gain for threads. Yeah. However, it's still useful for the first rendering for for example, it only renders lighting for stuff you can see, and stuff like that. For example, blackjack and hookers. For example, post-processing. It actually says post-processing here, so it will stay like that. Yeah, it's useful for post-processing. That's it. Browser fart. No browser fart. No, please no. I have seen enough browser farts. I just set it to copy the whole texture to the whole swaption texture, and then I played everything, and yeah. And then I just submit GPU command buffer. It takes everything that I defined here and sends it to the to the GPU all in one big block instead of doing everything and waiting for the GPU to respond. And I can do this, and while the GPU is still processing that, I can process the rest of the entities again, and then I can create another GPU command buffer, and then it will make a queue of all the command buffers. So I can just process it as fast as I can, and the GPU will also process it as fast as it can, and the GPU and the CPU don't block each other, which is cool. Now, yeah, I just have to actually run the graph. And how am I gonna do this? Well, I have a pretty good page here explaining that. Shout out to whoever wrote this shit. Particular shit. This. Yes. Now we just have to actually bind the things to their places, and I also have to figure out how to bind uniforms, which this thing doesn't explain. There was another, like, from the STL page, and this is still useful, actually. Open that, and it opens from the fucking top, and I don't want the fucking top, I want this. Popular GPU primitives. Bind GPU vertex buffers, but I don't want vertex buffer. I also want the element buffers. We'll figure it out, guys. From like how this thing is named, I think I can figure it out how it works. Buffer bindings. Buffer bindings. I think I know how to do it. STL GPU. STL GPU buffer binding. It's actually a bindings, and it's actually a list. I'm gonna put 2 because there's only 2 possible like things for now, which is a position UV. It's gonna be added. This is still in the beginning, okay, so. And then I'll do a very quick thing. And that very quick thing is putting all the data in place. I'm actually going to make a list. Here. Bindings. 0. Position 1. UV, and then I'll add others when they're implemented. Buffer bindings. It's bindings. Bindings, yes, the one's 0. Then I go here, I do this, and I start defining the graph. and do this, and I start to find the crap, and it's just buffering off. I try to set the buffer to. I have to create the buffer. I'll set it to 0 for now, and offset. No, it's this. Then offset. I'll set it to 0 for now too. This is wrong, but whatever. I have to create a buffer, and I have just a thing. I actually think it should have a buffer of itself. No, I just create a new one. LeBuff. LeBuff. Yes, it's the buffer. It's LeBuff. LeBuffer. It's LeBuffer. Who's worse than Jeffrey Epstein? I'm actually thinking of an actual menace to society, which is not even fanatics like that guy. Which no, it can't be Hitler because there are people that actually believe in Hitler, so yeah, it doesn't fit to my current. Like the most hated guy in existence. Mm, your mother. Yeah, it's your mother. It's your mother. Your mother's worse than Epstein. uh, Bowser fact. Alright. I created a buffer, right? Correct, it does not have a default constructor buff. Cast buffer, no. Usage. What was this anyway? SDLGPTO buffer. Usage. Usage flags. SDL buffer usage flags. Yeah, but what were they? Usage flags. Yes, but they bring me to the definition. Fucking asshole. Ta-da, ta-da. Like index indirect graphic storage read. The fuck is an indirect buffer? Except when I'm in the Epstein files. Most likely, I do not trust that guy. What the fuck is an indirect buffer? Vulkan. No, what the fuck is an indirect? What is? Uh-huh. What? Yeah, it doesn't seem anything useful to it right now. No, it's still nothing new. I've read this. I've read this. You can close this now. I've read this. Correct. Correct. Good. I got it right. I've seen this shit. Gug. There you go. Now. Vertex. We want the vertex. And then another for the index. Le buff. Vertex. I fucking forgot. Oh my god. Buffer, buff. STL GPU buffer user indirect. Okay, there you go. That's the whole thing. I have to fucking say the whole thing. STL GPU buffer user. It's not indirect. It's oh my fucking god. It's gone. God. Vertex. And then I have to do for the STL GPU transfer buffer usage uploads. She is uploading to the GPU to the buffer because basically how buffers work. This is for the actual buffer. No, no, undo all of that. Undo, no. STL buffer use no, it's STL GPU for usage vertex. Yes, we got the buffer, which is stored in the GPU, and this is what the GPU uses. What reads and writes from the GPU, it's to that buffer. But the CPU cannot directly access that buffer without causing serious performance problems, because if it reads, if the buffer gets read from the CPU, it stalls the entire thing, and that's shit. So we make a transfer buffer, so we write and copy to that buffer, which then gets sent to the buffer in the GPU but like since it gets sent to the GPU, it's much better. GPU can handle that transfer between transfer buffer and buffer. But yeah, just upload, and then we got the default size, but that's optional. Start the size. If something's wrong, there's a function. We can use it to check. Not exactly. It just makes sure the buffer has this amount of memory, and if it doesn't, a new buffer gets created with an amount of memory. Why is it red? What the fuck? I got to create another buffer, which is the element buffer. Buffer element buffer. And then I set it here. Element, which is element here too, which it should appear here. If the fucking thing doesn't decide to be stupid, str GPU buffer usage element, not element, what the fuck, vertex index, and then upload. Yeah, there you go. No questions, Mr. Smilecat? No, nothing? Do you fully understand what I'm talking about here? And what's a transfer buffer? And what's a buffer? And what's like render passes and all that crap? Do you fully grasp and understand all this shit? Make a game about Huey birds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe one day. It's not out of the question, but it's not today. Uh, oh no, it actually talks about the uniform buffers. Oh, they didn't say that. Uh, you only need the rand pass, and it seems like I can actually set this before setting all objects and performance gain. Yes, I am actually gonna set it before all objects. What's the function called? I say I'll bind GPU but text buffers, but I first need to get out of this. I'm gonna copy this shit from here to here. Skadoosh, skadoosh. I can actually do this instead of second. Yeah. That, and then I do bindings 1, and I 2 here, which to the buffer is this DUV, which is buffer still a buff, and since I created the buff, I can use the buff. Wait, what the fuck? It actually worked. What? Yeah, exactly. What the hell? GPU buffer. I can actually make a cast for that. Or I already exposed it. The buff dot map and lab upload. Shekalak. No. I can make buffer, and I will create I did that with a pipeline, huh? They're like an operator. No. How do you do casts again? C plus implicit casts. Please sheet conversions, and I click now. Where's operator T? Yes, it is just a T reference operator. T and T reference. Right. Can I? Yes. Yes, that. Wanna do that shit on you so swine. When you swim, you swim and swim. When you swim, when you swim. Operator. Still GPU buffer. Pointer. Shot. Scheiße. And then I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this. And the operator buffer operator. I said return buffer. Alright, yes, and this is valid, and this is valid, and everything works fine. I can just set it to the buff, and it will work fine. And the offset is 0, yes. For this, I think I have to find it again. Oh, yep, I do have to find it again. Unless find GPU vertex swap? No. See, find GPU vertex swap. STL find GPU vertex buffers. STL find GPU vertex buffers. In the past, the reference filing NNA or structs contain vertex buff and offset files. Do not bind interface. I have to bind it again. Yep, I do have to fucking bind it again. Make a better file game. God damn it, you do it. Yep, I have to bind this shit again on every single thing. Does binding a vertex first cause lag vulkan? Yep, I do have to bind that shit all over again. Every single fucking thing. And it should not cause a big issue. I'll also take this with me. And place it here. About this, I can't do pipeline line attribute size. Undo. Yeah, I cannot do this like this. I have to do a for loop. For size ty length pipeline attributes size bindings and use variable. Yes. I go here. I do this right. I do this, and then I do. I'm pretty ready to do. P Bobby did do. Pretty ready to know. Do everything do. And then I do the also loved sign she used, and then I set this to there. I do bindings. Why? I'm evaluating my fucking options here. I am so lost. Bueno, I think this is the correct way. Yes, yes. No. Yes, keep that, but instead of doing this, I'm fucking losing it. I'm fucking losing it. I am fucking losing it. Buffer binding. It's 1, 2. There's only 2 bindings. And the thing does what it needs to do to make the bindings work. Connect. Yes, because like yeah, that's done by the pipeline. The pipeline already does this. The pipeline already does this. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes, the pipeline already does like the offsets and what position the things are. I just have to put that on location 0 and location 1 and it does everything for me. I already did this before. Oh Bindings. I don't need to care about the attributes since the binding, the thing does it for me. 0, I set this to, yes, I have to put the equals since I'm not creating, it's already created and it's not working. I don't know what fields it takes. Set 1. Buffer. I set it to the buff. And the offset, I set it to 0, which That's when we need size. But what is the offset? God damn it, you fucking wizard. Offset you in 32. You in 32. Z0. Offset. I'll do Z. I don't actually need to set this. I know it's like fixed. It's fixed. It is 0. It's always gonna be 0. And I'll just add the previous ones, which I don't need to store. It's constant. I'll just keep adding. Bindings 1. It's buffer, and this is where it gets to the specific part, to the object specific part. Size of mesh, actually ELM vec3 times mesh position size. What? Oh, offset. Initialize. What? The fuck? What did you do? What did you do? Why? Why? And why is this like this? No. Go back. And you put fucking spaces, bro. Don't put spaces. No, you don't put spaces. You put the fucking tabs. Tabs are supposed to do this, not fucking spaces. Oh, it's too big. You can configure the size of spaces on your fucking terminal. Here. Open tabs, preferences, appearance, line spacing. Well, you can. I'm not sure where, but you can set the size of tabs to something. I think it's on like the system settings. Here, I think it's system settings. Nothing from you. Everything's fine. Inventory. Why are you doing static cast? Yeah. Static interpret cast. Should you do static cast or interpret cast? Static cast or the interpret cast? Hmm. Ah, okay. So yeah, it is Staticast. Um, what? No, dude. Oh my fucking god, it's spaced. It's spaced. The asshole put spaces in here. The fucking asshole put spaces in here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. The fucking asshole put spaces. Yeah. So I got that shit sorted out. I just have to bind the buffers now, and it's still not done because I have to set the data to the buffers. Bind vertex buffer data, right? Bind vertex bind no S SDL. No, go back SDL. Bind GPU vertex buffers. Render pass. It is the pass. Previous. First slot 0. Bindings. Bindings. Number of bindings 2. But first I have to set the data, which I think is actually the easiest part. Because I just treat it as a simple array because they made the mapping the standard way, and that's why the thing blocks. They made the mapping the standard way to handle this shit. And how do you do that, you ask? When you do this like this, you go to LabAF and then you do map, and then actually no, scratch that. You set what do you want? I want it to be mm, a float array. A float array. To this, and I just set it to float. A float array. There you go. Now we just have to set everything. I don't need no swizzling. I don't need no swizzling. I don't. It's not swizzle. The fuck no. Swizzling. It's from the vertexes in a GLSL. It's interleaved. And to interleave, I just put the thing because it's easier to program. And it's still valid. Um, can I just put the data? It's probably easier if I just put the entire data. And then I put the thing. But nah. First of all, does it have enough size for in byte? Actually, map. I'm just gonna put this already here. Map the buff on map on the buff. Upload. Copy paste. Copy paste. Are you kidding me? How do you do this then? It's impossible. Mm. Do I have to put separate passes for each of them? Oh my fucking. Are you fucking kidding me? I have. You know what? Fuck you. I will make. This is just to get started. Okay. I will delete the random pass argument. I don't need you anymore. I'll just create my own random pass. No. Accept, say, transfer location. The thing doesn't cannot be here. It has to be here. And here I will make it's so many choices. Honestly, uh, I think best thing to do is make a list, um, a set, a dictionary where the key is a mesh, and yeah, and then store the data all at the same time. And then if I do this, I don't need this, and I oh my god, I don't need any of this. Then pipeline bind pass. I know. Uh, uh, I have to compile all of the data before everything. Animal bullet, animal bullet. I'm gonna do this, and instead of render object, it's set object data, and instead of a render, it's copy paste. And the things is I don't need any of this. I just need I also need this. I just need that. Yank this, go to render, and paste this, but not here, here, and uh, and yeah, where could I could put it right here. Yes. Auto iter address meh. Still picking GPU copy path, and for the keeping track, I will make a dictionary. First a struct. First make a struct right on top of this page. Struct u position struct of sets. What are the type of graph that it uses for offset? It's U32, right? U32, let me check. U32, yes. U in 32. So with that, I got offset, which this should be uppercase offset. I store offsets per object to where in the buffer those grabs are. It's a very simple algorithm that I'm making up as I write. I first begin the GPU copy paste, but first I have to std unordered map, which for key is the mesh render, and for the value is offset. Uh, hmm. Entity is supposed to be good for this. And I also need the dictionary, so study northered map. Why do I have to say a northered? It's very annoying, and that's because the AP, the fucking C++ standard is ass. Entity, entity, offset, offset, The names don't need to be here, so I'll delete them. I could just do offset and have it. No, it is not. Right here. Same here. Actually, no. This actually needs to be here, but not this. Hello. It's right here, dude. It is right here. Fucking million is parameter. It's right here. I use it right here. This parameter. Has incomplete type. No, it does not. It does not. It's right here. uh, that did not happen. Now to actually calculate the thing. So did I create the thing? STL begin GPU copy pass and STL and GPU copy pass. Pass. Yes. STL begin GPU copy pass. I'm actually gonna create a scope here because I don't need what's in here outside of here. Same with the rest actually.
Quer uma. Quer jantar? Carne.
Now from this, I do this head out there. I did a mistake. It is actually reference. And then I said reference. It's actually a reference. Oh, no, this is not. I should. This requires too much information from the outside, so I'm just gonna do it here. Um, especially because I can do. First of all, I am actually going to create two buffers. Pause buff, position buffer, and the other one. This is because the offsets are better. Do the shit where. What the oh shit, it's starting to hurt again. Oh no, I should get that shit. First of all, set the data. I should to create a map. So pause and then vec3 pause map. Pause buff map. Yeah, because I first set the data, then I do the whole path thing. I don't actually need any of this. Mm, mm. Alright. I actually have to set this outside for some. I'm actually gonna. Actually, no. I can just do this. Wait, what? Length? Forgiven will. Forgiven length. Length. There's no length. Oh, we're choosing it as an arm. Yeah, oh no. No. Is it position equal? Should I? Yeah. And yes, and just copy this. Yank it. Oh, I set it to to lowercase. Hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. What was that? There's a location. Let me check my little guide. Mm. Alright, and yeah, that is it. That's the whole code, and there's some stuff that was in use, but we don't need that. We also don't need this transform. Yeah, discard. Unmap, unmap, and upload. Yes, GPU commune buffer copy. Offset 0. This here, you don't have to set everything. Because like the transfer buffer location and buffer region, they both need to a reference to actual to the buffer, but that's set by the upload command, so don't worry about it. Can I? No. STL GPU buffer location. I'm just initiating it with nothing because yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing to it. STL U buffer region. And this one, yes, we actually set something. We set offset 0. 0. The size is size of everything now. Was it wizard position. And the buffer we set to nothing, because that's going to and then we just copy this, yank it, and we use UV this time. Reference to pause region. No, to lock and a reference to pause region. Transfer but is still GPU. Pause region. Except that's wrong. And there we go. And all the information should be here. I just have to pass that to the renderer, and hopefully will actually say something. Well, not really. The uniforms still have to be defined or whatever. buffer liba. Yes, but it's time. But it's time. I've said CPU. Undeclared that. Yeah. Everything should work now. Um, I still have to make sure there's actually enough space for that. I could iterate to that thing again and check that shit again. I could, but no, I think I will actually do the iteration. So we need and then I just do pause buff, check-alloc, Okay, now it should 100% work 100% of the time. With no edge cases to speak of. Now I have to actually render. Where is there? Mm. And I don't know that what to do with the element, but whatever. For now, I'm just gonna keep it like that, but it will give an error. It will make the entity that I have wrong. Oh, god damn it, I actually have to do that. Well, I just have to do this, and then some other crap. Mix to either. Is it element? Hmm. And yeah, elements are done. Everything should be calculated. Yep. If they are value, then add it to the list. Oh yes, I have to element map and not UV element indices indices that doesn't even exist yet. Where the yank? Mm.
Não queres comer isso?
And no, this cannot be here. I think that well, I think that bye. Goodbye. And goodbye.